There's a scene at the top of episode 4 where Matt, Tom Mason's son, is skateboarding around in a little weird little apartment complex that looks completely deserted, and it's very strange. It feels unusual, and then you realize that there's Skitters chasing after him. When suddenly, boom, Skitter head blows up, and then a second Skitter turns around and kind of goes, and then his head blows up, and you realize that it's been part of a plan, and Matt is participating in a Skitter trap. We're blowing up Skitter heads, and we're having fun doing so. Fantastic! That is a good exploding head.
That was awesome!
I was the showrunner of season 1, and it was very challenging.
There are a lot of logistical difficulties to doing this kind of a show. Working with so much special effects and CGI stuff, in addition to working with practical puppeteers and guys in suits, can be really time consuming, and you don't really have that much time in the day to shoot the page count.
It's not like a traditional TV show.
We all kind of went in going, holy crap, can we do all this stuff on a TV schedule and budget?
In the pilot, the Skitters were all CGI, but as we started to do the series, we realized that, especially for close-ups and medium shots, to build a puppet would be cheaper. The key concept that Todd Masters had was that we would put a man up inside the puppet, and they would build these 6 legs that would go out from the base, and puppeteers would lay on the ground and work them on rods.
You can see all our fantastic puppeteers all dressed in black, because that's cool, right? Actually, it helps the reflections. You don't want people in white getting bounce. We have animatronic artists and designers and puppeteers that could really just bring this stuff to life in ways that, you can't get maybe just even 2 years ago. Here we go with another test. I'm going to fast forward through this so you don't have to see the excruciating details of all the stuff we have to do to Keith. Anymore, our arms, they're done separately so we can do arm inserts if you need be without having to put everything on. Head being crammed on here. Obviously still making a few adjustments. We did a few things. So we're starting to see the character really come to life.
There was another problem that we had to solve, which was the Skitters move in a very different way than a human being. They have a very low center of gravity, and they have these crazy long legs, and they move sideways back and forth. So we came up with this idea: we just give the puppeteer a little bar stool on rollers, and we put down plywood, and when he rolls left to right and the other guy's laying on the floor, make the legs go up and down. For some reason, that actually looks good. To the eye, when you're on set, it looks ridiculous, but on film, it looks cool.
A lot of that is filmmaking. A lot of that is, the setup. It's a bit of a magician's trick. It's a tease, right? So you don't show too much, you don't reveal too much, and just about when you do, you switch it.
Ben? It's me, Rick. I brought them here.
Why would you do that?
Because he needs their help.
In episode 1, we meet a Skitter we call Red Eye, because half his face has been sort of blown off and left with a red eye. And Ben basically forms a relationship with this creature. And to take a creature that's incredibly bizarre and inhuman and find a way to humanize that was a real challenge.
Please. I have a son too. I understand.
You move these guys and you get brow movement, you get eye movement. So you can track with the eyes. It really did have to have this vulnerable, eventually something that we could connect with type of personality. Torso forward, arms out. There you go. And head down. And head around, moving around. There you go. Arms. The nice thing about having such an expressive face with lots of animatronic little fingers and shapes that kind of show the rows of teeth and all that stuff kind of combines together, of course, with Keith performing inside his body movements to really give you a sense of a personality. And arm-to-arm combat.
Not the hair, not the hair! It's like a tangible thing you can hold, and you can't see much of anything when the guy's in there. So he's hitting you in the face accidentally, and since you're in a fight with it, you take it personally.
That's not necessarily true. You have puppeteers working their legs who are probably intentionally hitting you in the face.
They could be those guys.
That's what they told me.
Dressed in black, all sneaky.
It's still rubber with motors, so it's still kind of a synthetic thing. So that really is the challenge and the talents of our artists.
We understand that these are not just automatons, but are in fact sentient creatures that had lives and families who have been taken from them just the same way they're trying to take us.
These are the harnesses, but each one of these has got an internal mechanism. And so we've got various without antennas, these have antennas. We've kind of made a variety of these things because we had to do them quickly. Vinny's here. He could tell us. Vinny, he can control that at certain speeds, so we can really whip and attack.
Oh, wow.
And that goes in all areas of the body.
This is the trailer where I get my prosthetics put on every morning. Most of the time, we just use these neck pieces, but there's rare occasions where the scene involves showing my entire back, and that's a much lengthier process. Full back can take 3.5 hours, 3 hours. Even things like having your character's watch on, or having your belt on, or having the right shirt on really can bring you into character. And the same is about the spikes, because they're such an integral part of my character. I never go a day without them. It's a lot to sit through, and it's a lot to have to do every day, especially if you have to do it every day. But it's worth it, and it's cool. It's cool when you see it on the TV, when you finally see it all cut together, and you see your back or your leg or whatever put together. It looks amazing.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go, and go! The key to Falling Skies has always been, the mix of the great action and the special effects, but always, more importantly, and always that we, the creators and writers, keep in mind is that the family and the heart and the human drama, and that's the kind of stuff that I think really keeps people watching.
For me, first and foremost, is story. Are we telling the story we want to tell? That's the most important, because I don't care what you solve in problem solve and other things. If the story isn't compelling, none of that matters. It'll just be it's lipsticks on a pig sort of situation.
So you really have to sell it, so to speak, with even more than good rubber stuff. You have to do it with a really great team. And fortunately, we have a fantastic team on Falling Skies.
Roll cameras, please.
Roll cameras.
Rolling. And camera.
And rise up, Keith. Looking down, raise your hand, look up.